אוקיי, כן, יסר בנך כי יש תקווה. You have to discipline your son. כן, I guess while there's hope. ואל המיתו אל תישא נפשך. And don't pay too much attention in his destruction. Let's do go on like this. Shlomo Melech tells us that you have to take advantage of a window of opportunity as a parent while you know that your authority can have an impact, an effect on the child. And that's a very short window of opportunity, that the child really fears the father, the parent, yes, and the authority of the parent really has an impact. So when there is when that window of opportunity is open, says the Gaon, don't be scared even to hit him and to discipline him, if that's what it takes to help him, yes, better his behavior and be on the right path. And Ve'el Hamito, he says, and when you see that he complains while you do that, and he cries, and he's upset, and he's going to use harsh words, Al tisa nafshecha. Don't let this influence you from being strict and diligent. Okay? Another pshat of Ve'el Hamito. El Hamito, we said, do not meaning don't kill him, meaning don't destroy him. Don't. Yeah, there's a fine line between education through through Mechila. So he says there's also so much pressure you can put on the child and not break him and before you break him. So says the Gaon here, Shlomo Melech addresses two sensitivities. Sensitivity number one, the timing. You have to leverage the timing where you, as a parent, can apply authority and discipline. And number two, the second sensitivity is the level of pressure. How much pressure can you actually apply? Meaning apply enough, yes, even if the child reacts, but be careful not to put too much pressure because you may break him. You may kill him. Okay? And this obviously, this musar, and yes, can be applied from on chinuch, whether it's with words, emotion, or even being physical. You have to be careful on all three, but you're responsible to apply it if you care to educate your son and not have to deal with problems later on.
Repeat that last line again.
I said you have to take advantage of this opportunity if you want to fix the problem, not have to deal with the problem later on. Because if you don't take advantage of that window of opportunity and you don't fix problems that you see, when eventually that problem is only going to grow, and at that point you don't have any more leverage. You don't have any say.
Are they talking about a time period like an age, or it could also be later only?
No. Also, this is referring to a ben kivyachol as a child.
And
As a
what's
child.
that cutoff age?
It depends. Today, Today, I think between the age of 5 up to 11. I think past 11, the child in today's generation, the child already doesn't fear his parents anymore. You see the chutzpah of the boys of this generation. B'chalomot, we would have been talking like this even when we were adults to our parents. And if you have a behemet, you have a tzaddik and nefesh adina and a good boy and blah blah blah. Maybe bar mitzvah to bar mitzvah. Past bar mitzvah for sure. Bar mitzvah after that you have to continue play the role of a father. But this window of opportunity of applying pressure and authority to the point where you can even be physical with measure, obviously, yes, and we've explained how, yeah, that's up to bar mitzvah. Sometimes, if there's like a crazy event, and maybe later, but that's and Bechlal today. I don't even know if that physical aspect even is applicable today, because the mechanchim today, they believe that it's only you should only use love and not use any pressure today. But my opinion is that the Torah is timeless, and discipline, the way the Torah teaches us, has to be applicable at all time in every generation. Maybe at the time, giving a slap or a patch on. It was until my generation. I don't know, but it was common. There was nothing. There's nothing there. But today it's different. B'chol the Gaon says that if you don't want to deal with issues later, yes, take the matters in your hands while you can, i.e., while you have authority. Ken? Yutet. There's a lot of chinuch inyanim here of how to be mechanech. Yeah? When we learned earlier that even if you want to react, you cannot, or if you want to punish, you cannot punish out of reaction. You have to wait. You have to calm down. Yeah, a lot of tips when it comes to chinuch. Okay. It's written the ktiv is geral, but you read it gedal. Gedal hema nose onesh. Somebody that has anger, that has anger issues, right? Triggers punishment. כי אם תציל ועוד תוסיף. And if you try to save him, you only make it worse. You only add, oil to the fire. Continues the Gaon and says, Shlomo HaMelech tells us another chidush here. He says, if the child, yes, behaves so bad that you got angry and upset and you're almost uncontrollable, you're very, very, very upset, and you're ready to unleash on him, and you cannot control the measure of the discipline. And if you do discipline at that moment, everything is going to come out. Says Shlomo HaMelech, Noseh Arnesh. Noseh Onesh, he wants to say, Tiyeh Mohel, forgive him. Why? because you might not control yourself and you're going to end up breaking him and killing him. Not physically, but emotionally.
Pardon him to the one who got anger, or pardon the kid?
The kid.
You have to be able to stop.
That's
Yeah.
that's the
If you're
message.
in
That's
that
what.
state,
Huh?
if the person is in that state that is going to unleash everything,
That's exactly what he's saying. He said that's what he's coming. He's talking. He's coming to talk to that person.
okay.
Remember that if you're about to blow up now, but sometimes words are more painful than an action. Yes, sometimes you're ready to just unleash and say everything, and you know that you'll bury the kid right now. You're ready to kill him. Yes. So he says at that moment, how to deal with that situation? Awake mehila, tie mohel, which is pretty insane, because have to go from being super angry after something that deserves to be angry and it deserves punishment to bedil vayavo. Why? Like, where do you find the motivation to do so in that moment of anger and stress and distress? Because you might kill him, you might destroy him. And that's the breaks. That's your breaks. To recognize 1 second, like I'm gonna unleash and I'm not gonna get anything done. Right? So do I really want to hurt him? Do I really want to kill him? No. So that is the motivation that cools you down and give you the clarity to say mahullah, mahullah, mahullah. For the moment. Not for good. For the moment. Kendan.
I guess that's probably your next point. You're saying for the moment, but then you go back to the other pasuk and in its proper time, then you punish him or you handle for that matter. Meaning you went from one extreme of almost blowing up and destroying the kid emotionally. You reset by going all the way to the other side of your mochel, but then within a few hours or a day, you find your balance, and then you come and you
That's
and
right.
you
That's right. That's right. Why? Ki im tatzil, right? Ki im tatzil, that's the second part of the pasuk. Ve'ot tosif. What did we say? That if you try to get involved, you just add oil to the fire. You make it worse, right? And now comes the thought process. Why do you want to hit him? Why do you want to, say what you have to say? So that he doesn't repeat what he did now. Nachon? You want to teach him not to go to do again what he's done. And that's a tikkun for the future. But the past is the past, it's done. Nachon? So if you want to, it says the Gaon like this: to fix the past, you can't. So all you want is teach him prevent him to teach him so that for the future. But if you unleash now, why do you unleash? You don't unleash because you want to help him for the future. You want to unleash because of the frustration of the past. Nachon? What triggered that? What has happened already? But what has happened has already happened. So this you cannot fix. You understand? So the unleashing unproportionally is a reaction to address the past, not to address the future. Therefore, by unleashing unproportionally, you're breaking him in the future and not solving the past. Because the past is done already. So that's the logic to also from a place of sechel, yes, to find room to or get back to an equilibrium and react with measure, or if you can't, yes, to take the other drastic approach of mechila.
But the person that unleashes thinks in that moment that through unleashing will cause fear that will drive a change because
That's what
he's
he
not
thinks.
nuts.
That's what he thinks. So
Yes.
if he does it bechokmah and beemet, that's what's supposed to be. Yes. So then it has to be done. It has to be done with a strategy,
Control.
with a measure. For example, and you're right. He says the Gaon to your point. Says ve'ot tosif. He's like ki im tatzil. There's a way. He says if you do too much, what are you trying? You want to be matzil. You want to save him from in the future. As ve'ot tosif. He says ve'ot tosif. So it has to come with small measures. Yes, a reaction now, and then another reaction. Okay, me'at me'at, and that's how you'll be able to realign him in the netiva emet and in the right path and um, uh, uh, with the right perspective. Meaning, you need to be able to address, yes, the issue in a way that your reaction is based on prevention for the future, yes, and based on how much he's capable of handling the pressure. That's how much pressure you can put. You cannot put more pressure than that. And that pressure, yes, if you put too much, we know you'll kill him. So you have to tone it down. So tone it down in what way? That pressure stays on in full according to his capacity and me'at, time after time, time after time. Like repeat that pressure again and again and then again and again, and that's how you will reframe the path of the child. Yes, a lot of chokhmah in that pasuk when it comes to chinuch.
Can you just can you just repeat for me or explain to me when someone exploding at that minute? Did I understand? Because you didn't handle the past properly? Is
No,
that what was happening?
no. It's
Okay.
because you're dealing now with the past. The reason when you're about to blow up, what do you have in your heart? What are you trying to address? What has been done? The past. But says the guy, the past is done. Yes, you only want to discipline to fix for the future, because anyways, the past is the past. You cannot go back. So if you put your aggravation and your anger, yes, by addressing the past, so the past will not change anyways, but the future you killed. So you did not fix anything. So says the Gaon, what do you have to do? Yes, you have to address the future and say, okay, how do I discipline the child now so that in the future he doesn't do that? Yes, I need to put enough pressure that he's going to feel the pressure, but that pressure will not break him. Yes, and I have to keep that pressure on and off, on and off, on and off, right? Slowly, slowly, so that with time that pressure will mold him to reframe him and put him back on track. If you can't do that, and have clarity that this is what you're trying to do to focus on the future, yes, then use the drastic approach of mehila. Why? Because if you don't, you're going to kill him. You're going to emotionally kill him. Yes, Andy.
This applies not only to Chinuch, this applies to every conversation.
Yes, correct. Correct. You're breaking up. Is it me or it's Andy?
Andy.
Ah,
Andy.
It's every
you broke up. No, go.
This is for every relationship.
Correct. Yes, you can apply it in any type of relationship. But the difference is that in a relationship with a child, you have a level of authority that you might not have in another relationship. But it is true, yes, it is true that the psychology behind it and the approach of wanting to react, yes, in Shalom Bayit is the same thing, yes. The only thing is that you know what, your wife doesn't fear you. Don't worry, mine neither. There's no, you don't have that matter of the fear, yes. So Elama, you're going to have a reaction, but at the end, the thought process is the same. I want to blow up. I want to blow up. What is done is completely wrong. Yes, but you know what? If I want to save, if I want to save the day, and I want to help for the future, then I have to think about the future and not the past, and apply enough pressure not to break the relationship, and continue applying it, you know, in a period of time, so that pressure can be felt, and hopefully the person can change. Yes. Any question on the pasuk? We're good. Okay. Pasuk Chaf. Shema etzah v'kabel musar. Listen to an advice and accept the discipline. Leman tehkam be'acharitcha, in order for you to be wise at the end of your life. Says the Gaon, and all these are Lego, pieces of Legos that we have to put together in Chinuch. And I really advise that we do Chazara on these psukim, and now then you have those notes. Yeah, you should put all those notes of Chinuch together, because at the end, there's a mamash, this is a code of Chinuch. Shema Etzah, listen to an advice, and right, V'kabel Musar, and accept discipline. Says the Gaon like this: there are two reasons why a person will reject something. When you ask him to do something, he's going to reject it. And ask, yeah? Do your homework, do this, whatever. Two reasons. One is because he thinks, he disagrees, and he thinks the opposite of what you're asking him, right? So when you ask something someone to do something, if he disagrees with you, or he thinks it's wrong, yes, he's going to reject it, and that's going to stop him from doing it. Or if physically he's not able to do it. Good? These are the
Why?
two. Yes.
Why not mentally not able? Could be physically able. He agrees, but he cannot do it because he's not.
Same thing. The mental, that's part of the physical.
Okay.
Physical.
Sorry.
There's a goof, there's a kavanah that his body, mentally, whatever it is. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Health related. And the other one is ideal. Mapitom, I disagree with that. Yes. Somebody tells you to do something, you disagree with it, you're not going to do it.
Wouldn't the
These are.
mental be, sorry, wouldn't mental be the first case that they disagree?
What do you mean?
Mentally would fall under the first category that they disagree and they think
What
the
do you mean?
opposite.
What do you mean first category? Which version?
So there was two reasons we explained.
No,
Right?
mental. He wants to say that he's the guy. The guy's ADD, stressed. He's
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
he cannot think straight.
Sorry. Okay.
He's that's what I think that's what Andy was meaning, right? So for whatever reason, his health, right, mental health or physical health does not allow him to do that,
Understood.
which is completely different than the first category. The first category is an ideal. It's intellectual. These are the two reasons, yes, that stops a person from accepting to do something. So comes Shlomo Melech, right, and says, Shema Eitzah, listen to an advice. Meaning, what does it mean, listen to an advice? Take time to digest the chokhmah, the wisdom there is when you're given an advice. So that that advice, now that chokhmah in the advice, yes, can uh, uh, convince you intellectually that it's right to do it, and you'll do it. Vekabel musar, and yes, accept the musar, accept discipline. You have to be ready to suffer and learn to sacrifice if you want to grow also. And that's the musar, that's the discipline. And that's how you overcome the health challenge. Because the health is a barrier that you can only overcome if you're ready to sacrifice yourself and absorb the pain, whatever that pain is, emotional pain, mental pain, physical pain. And if you have those two those two kochot, meaning what? The ability to listen, yes, to the chokhmah, meaning analyze the chokhmah, understand the why and the thought process behind the advice on one end, and to accept, to sacrifice yourself, to absorb a little bit of pain in order to grow, then you'll overcome those two challenges that paralyzes you from doing something when there's a blockage. And the result is, "Techkam be'acharitcha." At the end, you will be filled with chokhmah. So the etzah, the advice, it's an avodah mibifnim, right? It's a work from inside. It's intellectual work. Yes? And that is applied by teaching, by educating yourself or your child, yes, to always understand what's behind that advice. Somebody gives you an advice. What's behind it? Let's analyze it. This is what the Gemara does. What's the Havamina? Right? The Gemara, it helps you understand davar mitoch davar. Yeah? That's the avodah mibifnim. The musar, c'est the avodah mibachutz. That's the physical pain or mental or emotional pain. Yes, this resilience. That's chokhmah musar. So on one end, you develop the interest of looking for the chokhmah, and on the other, you develop the resilience of the musar. Says the Gaon Shlomo Melech, so this is the secret of chokhmah, of making yourself a chacham. Because at that point, you no longer are paralyzed with your own limitations. Yes, we have just revealed the two keys, to unlock those two limits: the limit of the intellect and the limit of the body.
Your time, Rob. I don't want to.
No, any shayla on that pasuk?
Spectacular, this one, eh?
It's crazy. Well, right, just so I understand, the second part of unlocking this issue, one we said was the intellectual, chokhmah musar. The second one is a
No,
physical work.
no. The intellectual is chokhmah. The physical is musar.
Ah, okay. Chokhmah. Second is musar. And that's a physical,
Discipline.
that's an actual physical.
Vadai. Physical meaning health-wise, yes? Because to be able to absorb pressure emotionally, physically, or mentally, it falls back into the same umbrella, in the same bracket.
Absorb so that's not it's talking about learning how to absorb the mental physical pressure.
Through the musar, you learn to develop resilience of pressure, of pain. You know, you see today, people are handicapped, mamash. You know, they come in a room. If it's 2 degrees too hot, they cannot say, it's too hot, I have to go. And then there's a whole commotion about why the room is too hot. Makara, come pray. Okay, so it's a little hot. So, what's the end of that? No. Or or if there's too much, you cannot talk, it's too much pressure. If you address this subject, I was in Paris, yes, and the father was telling me I'm not allowed to talk to my son because anything I say that is a little bit too much pressure, זה נגמר הסיפור. Yeah, you cannot put pressure. I cannot address why he failed an exam, or I cannot address why he doesn't do his tennis exercises. Because when the second I talk about that, it's pressure. If it's pressure, that's it. People are handicapped. And this is the fruit of our efforts because we try to nurture and we try to shelter so much the children, right? And protect them from any level of inconsistency or change or pain. That's it. That's it. The second there's one variable that moves a degree, the end of the world. The end of the world. And then we ask ourselves, why, when there's a problem, why can't I fix it? You can fix it because you never gave them the tools to be able to fix themselves. Yeah, a body that's kept in an environment with zero microbes. He doesn't develop the anticore that he needs to fight. This is what the Shlomo HaMelech is talking about. This is what the gun is talking about. Yes. On Musar, build resilience. Learn to deal with a curveball. Learn to deal with a situation that is uncomfortable. Patience, strength, physical. You're tired. It's okay, you're tired. So you'll rest later. No, but I'm tired now. And the mother, she comes, let him sleep. It's too early to go to shul. Please, come on. What? Seriously? He has to go to shul right now. He'll sleep later. Ma baya. What's the big deal? No, misken. Yeah, he needs his 12 hours of sleep. Okay, no problem. When he's 18 and you cannot wake him up to go to work, don't cry why he's not waking up. Addressing situations or conversations that might be a little bit uncomfortable. Also, and that's from the Musar aspect. From the Chokhmah aspect, yes, it's opening his mind to understand what's hidden behind the words and the advice he's given. You sit with the child, yes. Oh, did you know my friend told me to do that? Okay, Bobo Tzaddik. Let's try to think why he told you what he told you. Open up, and suddenly you find reasons to do it. Yes, or not if it's not a good advice. But if it's a good advice, even though you have a blockage intellectually, you'll be able to do it. You'll be open to accept things. Sometimes we're stuck in our ways. We think we know better, and it's hard for us to accept something else. Yes, and in reality, we're mentally handicapped also. Yes. So we have to learn to open up ourselves to accept other ideas in order to grow. And that's the etzah. That's the power of the etzah, the power of the advice. Well, Be'ezrat Hashem.
Incredible.
Beautiful.
So we
So,
just finished Pasuk Chaf.
Thank
uh,
you. for the advice.
Entonces, Shlomo HaMelech was me and the Gaon.